keep a magnum and not the rubber. Nights before Bootsy was hollering at baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, earlier tonight we witnessed a classic bout for the World Heavyweight title. So before we begin the Royal Rumble match, allow me to formally introduce you to your new World Heavyweight Champion. You see, despite Eric Bischoff's apparent desire to keep the World Heavyweight Championship vacant, Raw will indeed have a champion to represent the brand at WrestleMania. And speaking of Eric Bischoff, I plan on personally coming to Raw tomorrow to get an explanation from him as to why he's been vacating every title on the brand.
Mr. McMahon's coming to Raw tomorrow night. I'd hate to be in Eric Bischoff's shoes right about now.
Who wouldn't, generally speaking?
Now remember, the man who wins tonight's Royal Rumble will earn a title opportunity at the greatest sports entertainment spectacle of all time, WrestleMania 22. Yes, the road to WrestleMania begins right here, right now, in this very ring.
No chance, that's what you got. Where you at?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the
Muhammad Hassan makes me sick. I wish he'd just stop his complaining, stop making excuses, and start proving himself in the ring, instead of blaming everyone else for his trouble.
Maybe Hassan's got a point, JR. Are you sure you're not biased against him because he's Arab American?
I'm absolutely certain, King. When I first heard about Muhammad Hassan, I was excited to have him on the Raw roster. It wasn't until he opened his mouth that I decided I couldn't stand it.
Well, I don't know. I think you might be harboring a little prejudice in your heart, JR. These superstars are so unpredictable. Wow, he wasn't too gentle about throwing him out.
Sucker!
I'm not so sure this one's about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Of course it's personal, JR. Anytime you step into the ring with someone who wants to beat you down in order to win the match, it's personal.
I guess I can't argue with that, King. Excellent counter. What ring presence.
Talk about adding insult to injury. He's tossed out of the ring and the match.
And it's been reversed.
There's a hurricane coming through.
When you think about natural-born entertainers, the first superstar that comes to my mind, quite frankly, is Booker T.
Yeah, he looks like someone's heading for the high rent district. can't even imagine what these superstars will put each other through.
I don't think you'll have to use much imagination, King.
I don't believe it! He's been eliminated! Watch out! He reversed it! These fans can't stand it when he does this, JR, but I think it's great!
He's sure not going to win over any fans with that move, but I don't think that bothers him too much, quite frankly.
I don't understand how these fans can boo it.
This match has come to an abrupt end for that superstar.
I'd ask you who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're pulling for.
I'm trying to remain as objective as I can, King. He doesn't look too happy about it, but an elimination is an elimination.
Chavo's such an exciting superstar, JR. I think someone's going for a high-risk move, JR. Chavo's family must be so proud of him, upholding the family tradition the way he does.
Well, if I was a Guerrero, I'd make sure that Chavo's invitation to the family reunion, he's been removed from the ring and from contention in this match.
All's fair in love and war, JR, and I love it when this guy goes to war.
Whoever said that cheaters never prosper certainly never saw this man in action.
I feel like we shouldn't even be talking during this match, JR. We should just silently admire the masterpiece. He turned the tables on his opponent with that one.
Is that? Yes, that's an elimination.
I think this one could go either way, JR. Well, there's one less superstar in this match now. All right.
And there's the elimination. The United...
Up and over and out. Eliminated. You know, JR, when I saw this match on paper, I wasn't too sure about it. But it's turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
I'm not at all surprised, King. I knew this was going to be a terrific matchup.
Oh, come on, JR. You're just talking through your hat. And speaking of hats, when are you going to get rid of that silly thing anyway?
Right about the time you stop wearing that crown, I'd say.
Boy, these superstars sure have their hands full here tonight, JR.
They sure do, King.
Over the top rope and down to the floor. That's an elimination.
It looks like they've decided to slow the match down a bit here.
And this could be a big mistake, JR. You don't ever want to give an opponent time to recover.
No, but you're not going to do yourself much good in the match if you let yourself get bone tired either.
Turn it up.
I'm sure these competitors have studied each other very carefully.
This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
That would be a recipe for disaster for sure, King.
They're taking it down a notch, JR. This could get interesting.
He might as well start walking back to the locker room. He's out of this match. have you ever seen a kid with the look, the charisma, and the raw power of this Mark Jindrak? Talk about your hot prospect.
I agree. Jindrak's had a couple of good moments on SmackDown, but it takes more than that to be a truly great WWE superstar.
Give the kid some time, King. He's got his whole career ahead of him for crying out loud.
Not if he doesn't keep his mind on this match, he doesn't, JR. Jindrak's got to spend less time being impressed with himself and more time making an impression on his opponent.
Being the face of people who don't want to be cool.
So who do you think's going to win this match, Jay?
A reversal. Can he capitalize on it?
Let me tell you, JR, you won't see action like this anywhere except on Raw.
That's for sure, King. There's not another brand of sports entertainment out there that can compare with Raw.
Now, if only we could get that through Michael Cole and Taz's heads, then they'd stop running their mouths on SmackDown. It's like he read his opponent's mind. That's it. He's out of the ring, and that means he's out of the match, too. I don't think I've ever felt more anticipation during a match than I am right now, JR.
I know what you mean, King. It's hard to find words to describe the electricity in the air here tonight.
Yes, that was an incredible move. What strategy?
Strategy my Oklahoma ass. That's cheap, plain and simple. That went nowhere.
I don't think that these superstars have even cut.
There he goes. He's out of the match.
These superstars sure aren't going easy on each other here tonight.
That's one fewer superstar in this match.
I can't remember the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might not win this thing. There's the reversal. I know why you don't like Carlito. His opponent telegraphed that one.
You're just going to throw out your back if you keep at it.
Don't quit on my account. I love watching this. I don't think anyone's walking away from this match unscathed.
No doubt about it, King. This one's going to be hell on the anatomy for sure.
A fan of everybody in this match, JR, but you've got to respect their dedication to this business. Oh my gosh, he's been eliminated from the match. He countered that one perfectly.
He just got tossed out rather unceremoniously, in my opinion. This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar.
It looks like they're slowing the pace down a bit here. Looks like his hopes of winning this one have been shattered, JR. like they've slowed the match down a little. And I think that's some good strategy right there.
It certainly is. I'm sure they're well acquainted with the old expression, fools rush in.
Is that why you always seem to be in such a hurry, JR?
I think I've eaten a little too much good Oklahoma barbecue in my day, King, to hurry anywhere.
I don't think the fans appreciated that one very much, but I don't think he cares much what the fans think.
That much is obvious, King. What a low-down, despicable move that was. This is a risky move. It could prove to be disastrous.
I've talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game. Oh my gosh, this could be the finisher. Oh boy, these fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want. These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't, and that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible. This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I'm getting to see it too, JR. I just wish they'd pick up the pace a little.
Oh no, this is classic old school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
Wait a minute, JR. You're not trying to say that I'm old, are you?
Of course not, King. Although there was that rumor going around about your social security number was 1.
I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. I think the damage has been done here, King.
One good submission could end this, JR. That's it! The match is over!
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner of the 2006 Royal Rumble. He outlasted 29 other superstars to do it. And by God, he's going to get a title shot at WrestleMania 22. What a night for him.
What a night for Raw! We've got a new World Heavyweight Champion and a new #1 contender. I love the Royal Rumble, JR.
I'd like to start out tonight's show by congratulating all of the Raw superstars for their performances yesterday at the Royal Rumble. I think there's no doubt that Raw showed itself to be the superior brand. I'd like to especially single out Kane, our new Intercontinental Champion, and Batista, our new World Heavyweight Champion, for putting on two of the greatest matches in WWE history.
That's right. And more importantly, we finally got Intercontinental and World Heavyweight Champions again. No thanks to Eric Bischoff.
Unfortunately, there were some issues with the title matches.
Here we go again.
So I'm afraid I have no choice but to...
No chance! That's what you got! Up against a machine too strong.
I've never been so happy to see Mr. McMahon in my life.
You think Bischoff was about to vacate the titles again, JR?
There's no doubt in my mind that's exactly what he was going to do.
Eric, I think I speak for every superstar in the locker room and every WWE fan around the world when I say that I've had just about enough of you stripping titles from Raw superstars. And tonight, right here, right now, I want a damn explanation for your actions.
If that's what you want, Vince, well, that's exactly what you're going to get.
What the? That's the WWE Champion, John Bradshaw Layfield. What in God's name is he doing here?
He's a Smackdown superstar. How did he even get into the arena?
Well, Eric, it sounds like Vince wants to be let in on our little plan. I guess there's no harm in it since there's no way he's going to be able to stop us now.
Plan?
You see, Vince, me and Eric Bischoff have been working very closely together the last few months. In exchange for me providing the financial backing to create a new wrestling empire, Eric's been handicapping Raw by keeping its titles vacant.
I don't believe it!
That means that when Eric and I go into business against you, you're not only going to have to overcome the fact that I am the most high-profile champion in the business today, you're also going to have to take on the man who nearly destroyed the WWE when he ran WCW.
And we all know how that turned out. Mr. McMahon put WCW out of business.
So, Vince, this is your first, last, and only chance to get the hell out of our ring before I come down there and do something you'll regret.
You think you can intimidate me, JBL? You think you frighten me? I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon, damn it. I'm the chairman of the biggest sports entertainment empire in history. I didn't get to this point by being stupid or ignorant. You think you're the only one who could come up with a secret plan? I was hoping I wouldn't have to resort to this, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
Oh my gosh! It can't be!
Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone Cold is here!
Oh man! Bischoff's gonna get it now!
Whoa! Steve! Vince! Hold it! Stop right there! Vince? Mr. McMahon? You know that when you hired me, I specifically had it written into my contract that no physical violence would be permitted against me, as long as I'm the general manager of Raw. If either one of you lays a finger on me, I'll sue you. I'll sue you for everything you've got.
You know, Austin, I have to admit, he's got a good point. Let's not act rashly here. Let me see if I can find a way to solve this little misunderstanding. Eric Bischoff, you're fired. And now that Raw is without a general manager, Austin, I'd like to offer the job to you. I know we've never seen eye to eye, but Raw needs you, Steve. I hate to admit it, but I need you here to clean up this damn mess.
You know, Vince, when you called me up and begged me to be the new general manager of Raw, that was about the happiest moment of my life. Until right about now. Seeing you in the middle of this ring in your stupid little suit and tie, pleading with Stone Cold, "Oh, please, Stone Cold, come to Raw and solve all my problems." Well, damned if that don't make old Stone Cold feel real special.
Look, I'm gonna let that go because I need a man like you to keep JBL out of Raw's affairs. Furthermore, I'm certain that at least one other Raw superstar must be working with JBL from the inside. This mole needs to be found immediately.
So what you're saying is, you're asking Stone Cold to find some damn traitor, open up a can of whoop-ass on a dumb sumbitch, and maybe just raise some hell on the side. Well, sounds like a job for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Tell you what, if you want to see Stone Cold as the new general manager, give me a hell yeah. All right. Vince, you got yourself a general manager. And my first order is, you can get the hell out of my ring. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
If there's a mole on Raw, the Texas Rattlesnake will find it. And you can take that to the bank.
This is gonna be a train wreck, JR. I just know it.
All right. First order of business is to get to the bottom of this damn conspiracy. If there's one thing I know about JBL, besides the fact that he's a no-good yellow sumbitch, is that he ain't gonna give up just because Bischoff got fired. Kane, Batista, you better watch yourselves. You heard how Bischoff was trying to get the titles off Raw to handicap the show? That gold around your waist? Might as well be a target on your heads.
I'm not worried about JBL or anybody else on SmackDown. I say bring them on if they think they've got what it takes.
Yeah, anyone, SmackDown or Raw, thinks they're gonna take my title away from me. I say, come try it.
Now you listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin. As long as you're the Raw champions, you're going to take care of your titles and not go looking to mix it up with SmackDown. And that's all I got to say about that. As far as you go, you signed for a World Heavyweight title match against Batista at WrestleMania. If I was JBL, you'd be at the top of my list. And since I'm the new sheriff in town, I'm making you my deputy. Find out who else around here is working for SmackDown and open up a can of whoop-ass, Stone Cold style.
Got it. Any suggestions on who to start with?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do have a suggestion. Remember how Chris Benoit jumped for SmackDown to come after Raw's World Heavyweight title? Seeing as how we're having a problem with SmackDown superstars trying to get rid of Raw titles, he seems like a suspect to me. I've made a submission-only match between you two tonight so you can keep an eye on him. Now go get ready.
Do you think Chris Benoit could be a traitor to Raw, JR? He looks a little shifty if you ask me.
I don't know what to think, King. I've known Benoit to be an honorable competitor for most of his career. But he hasn't always been on the side of the Angels, that's for sure.
And the opponent from
I tell you, JR, this one has the potential to be a Match of the Year candidate.
No doubt about it, King. As far as I'm concerned, any WWE match has that potential. Everyone on the roster is an accomplished wrestler.
I don't think I've ever seen a superstar who overrates himself as much as Chris Jericho does. He must think he's Elvis or something.
I don't know if he's any Elvis, King, but he's a very successful rock star, and he's a hell of a superstar to boot.
Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, out of a job.
Oh, man. I've been in this hole before, JR. This brings back some bad memories.
I can understand why, King. I can't even imagine the pain being inflicted here.
I can't believe he countered that one.
I never get tired of watching Chris Jericho in the ring. Every time he goes out there, he reminds me of why he's the first ever undisputed champion and has held the Intercontinental title more times than any.
I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. It comes with the price of admission. And there's the submission. There might not be any way out of it.
There better be, or we're going to see a tap out right here. I wonder how long these supers... It's like he read his opponent's mind.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
Oh boy, these fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want.
He's got his opponent locked into submission.
Well, there it is. That's the match.
Here's your winner, Chris Jericho.
Hey, I heard how the new general manager, Steve Austin, wants you to keep an eye on me because he thinks I'm a traitor to Raw. Well, I've got a message for him and for you. I'm no traitor, and if you want to call me a liar, you better be prepared to back that up.
Whoa!
Calm down, Benoit. No one's calling you a traitor. You coming here from SmackDown to go after the World Heavyweight title might seem a little suspicious, though. Maybe JBL's been planning this for a lot longer than anyone realized. If it's just a coincidence, you've got nothing to worry about. If it's not, then...
Look! I came to Raw for one reason. To prove I was the greatest WWE superstar in the world by winning the World Heavyweight title. The most prestigious prize in our business. Every big decision in the business is made because of the title. If you want my advice, follow the trail of gold, and you'll find out who's got the most to gain.
Follow the trail of gold? What's that supposed to mean? Did I just hear you say that you think one of Raw's champions is a traitor? In case you've forgotten, I'm the Intercontinental Champion, and I don't take kindly to being called a traitor. Screw Stone Cold and his deputy, and this stupid investigation. I'm gonna start beating the truth out of people, and I'm gonna start with you, Benoit.
Whoa, Kane, chill out. You went on the defensive pretty quick there. I almost have to wonder if you are trying to hide something.
Is that right, Orton? And I wonder if you and Benoit are working together for JBL.
Me? Working with Benoit? In case you've forgotten, the Legend Killer ended Chris's first World Heavyweight title reign. You think he'd want to work with me? Come on, Kane, you sound more nuts than ever, making accusations like that. But maybe you're right about one thing. Maybe we should meet in the ring tonight and see who can beat the truth out of who.
Sounds good to me. The deputy and I will see you two traitors out there.
The following tag team contest is scheduled. And the tag team and the opponent. Team partner.
He saw that one coming. You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... No. Go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again.
What a reversal.
I'll admit it, it's a little scary to watch up close, but I love watching Kane go to work. He's going up, JR. This could be big. He can hit his finisher right now.
tagged in his partner.
Boy, these superstars sure have their hands full here tonight, JR.
They sure do, King. They've got all they can say grace over. What a submission hold! Could this be a tap out?
It isn't. The hold can't be broken. You can't take this kind of pain for long.
And it's been reversed. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live. He's got that submission hold locked in.
He sure does, JR. He might make his opponent tap out right here. I can't believe he countered that one.
The very sight of Kane. Excellent counter. What ring presence.
Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, without these fans, these superstars are out of a job.
I wonder how long these superstars will be able to keep this up.
They'll go as long as they need to, King. And if they can't, they won't be having their arms raised after the match. That's for damn sure. I never get tired of watching. I think this crowd has decided to exercise the right of free speech.
God bless the First Amendment, JR.
Oh boy, this is not going to be an easy hole to escape from.
It sure isn't, JR. I've been on the wrong end of that one many times. I hope these superstars can make it through this match without suffering a serious injury.
So do I, King, but this ain't ballet. A reversal. Can he capitalize on it? And here's the pin.
One. That wasn't even close to 3.
That went nowhere. Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? Look what's going on in the ring. Uh-oh. Talk about a hole you don't want to find yourself in.
These superstars took each other to the limit. But it's over now.
Here are your winners, Chris.